It's Jon S Sports Channel here with League One Week 19 predictions, and we're going to go quickly through these because it's late on a Friday evening and we're about to see the first championship game go ahead in a couple of hours. So we're going to start with Lincoln versus Charlton, and what are you all saying? 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. Lincoln in 9th versus Charlton in 13th. Lincoln, of course, lost last time out 2-1 to Rotherham. Away from home, and they were pretty poor, really, as I recall it. Doing the review, Crawley, who managed to beat Charlton and 2-1, and Charlton going to at home to Crawley losing 2-1 is quite amazing, really, because Crawley are near the bottom, but they have been improving. And I think Charlton just got a little bit too far ahead of themselves, a little bit too cocky, thinking that it was going to be an easy ride. And I think the same could be thought of Lincoln. And for that reason, it could be quite difficult. Which one will mend that attitude quick enough as they go into a game against each other after both underestimating their opponents? I'm going to go with most of you, and I'm going to go with Lincoln 2, Charlton 1. Then we get Wigan versus Orient. Now, Wigan versus Orient. Wigan have been improving quite a lot, but so have Leyton Orient. Wigan will lose, draw, win, lose, and Leyton Orient win, draw, lose, win, sort of quite up and down. Occasionally they just don't play quite as well, and then quite often recently they've been playing steadily a little bit better each week. Wigan, yeah, they too have been playing better each week. 17th versus 20th. This is actually really, really difficult to predict. What are you saying? 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, 1-1, 2-2. Okay, I'll go with you lot. Wigan 1, Orient 1. And we move on to Birmingham away at Barnsley. Now, obviously, Barnsley, they've been finding it a bit tough recently, haven't they? They've been making those little errors and win, draw, lose, draw, lose. They've only won one in the last 6, and it was against Rotherham United. And to be quite honest, they played pretty average. It was only because Rotherham played dreadful that they managed to win 2-0. But they're playing a Birmingham side that have just stuttered a little bit recently. Win, draw, lose, win. They're back on track, aren't they, guys? Can we see it being anything else? What are you saying? 3-1 to Birmingham, 3-2 to Birmingham, 2-1 to Birmingham. You know, I think that it's going to be Birmingham 1. Barnsley 1, Birmingham 3. I just can't see Birmingham not continuing this resurgence back into their form they had right at the beginning, and why not? It is a damn good side. We're going to Blackpool versus Rotherham next, and Blackpool faltering a little bit. They've just started to get their form and their skills back, I think, and the green's running for them now. It's Blackpool draw, lose, win, but the defeat last time out was at home to Birmingham 2-1, and to be quite honest, they got a goal, which is pretty good against Birmingham, especially since they've got back to their winning ways. Rotherham, yeah, win against Stevenage at home, defeat, a win, but it's in the Mickey Mouse Trophy, and then a defeat to Crawley, and last time out 2-1 winners at home to Lincoln, but we both played pretty poorly. I can't see. It's 12th versus 18th. You know, I have to go with you lot. I'm a Rotherham fan. I would probably say I'd accept a draw. However, you're saying 1-0, 1-1, 1-0, 1-0. Yeah, I'm going to go with you lot. Blackpool 1, Rotherham 0. Bristol Rovers versus Bolton next, and flying through these, aren't we? Bristol Rovers versus Bolton. There we are. Bristol Rovers sometimes don't turn up. And this is a worry to me. Not quite being able to turn up to the game. Bristol Rovers, draw, win. They turned up that day. Lose, draw against Barnsley, 0-0. They did turn up there. They played quite well. But they didn't turn up against... I think on the Leyton Orient game, they lost 3-0 last time out to Leyton Orient. However, they didn't play that badly. So they can turn up. Sometimes they don't. Will they turn up against Bolton? Well, unfortunately, Bolton have been doing quite well. They've not lost in the last four. Three wins and one draw against Cambridge, who have been playing some on and off some really good football. So, but before that, 5-0 defeat away at Stockport County and a 2-1 away defeat to Walsall in the FA Cup. Now, I have to look at the way they've been playing in the last 3 or 4 games, and I think Bolton have certainly started to pick up the pace quite well. What are you saying? 2-0 to Bolton, 2-1, 2-0 to Bolton, or everyone's going for Bolton? I'm going to have to agree with you. But I can't see them. I can't see Bristol scoring. Bristol City 0, Bolton 2, and I think the Bolton train is back on track, isn't it? After all that Huddersfield defeat ages ago, where they thought they were going to sack the manager. Hell, he's turned it round. It's really turned round since then, hasn't it? So we go on to Cambridge versus the Shrews. And Cambridge, like I say, have been playing some really good football, intermittently with some average football, which actually, I hope the Cambridge fans are thinking, this is actually refreshingly good, because at the beginning, like when they lost to Rotherham, giving them their first win away in 2 years, almost. Both sides played absolutely abysmally, and. Okay, 6 games ago, Cambridge United lost 6-1 away to Peterborough. However, draw, lose. I think the last couple of games, they just not quite hit the ground running, and they just haven't gelled quite as much in those 2 games. And I hope that they don't completely collapse here, because Shrewsbury, they won against Birmingham 2 games ago, 3-2. How on earth they did that? Great game planning. They were hammered as far as possession's concerned, but I tell you what, they did a damn good job. Went ahead, kept that win. Good on them. They showed people that you can beat the Birmingham when they're playing quite good football. What are you saying? Because I'm going to have to go with you lot. 1-1, 2-2, 1-1, 1-1. Something. I'm going to agree with you. Sit on the fence. Cambridge 1, Shrewsbury 1, because they both need this as a win, and they're both going to be going at this hell for leather, but they both don't want to lose it. And I think it's going to start. The first half's going to be really, really tentative. Nobody's going to want to get into their half. They're going to want to make sure they just don't lose this, which may lead to a 1-1 or even a 0-0 scoreline. If one wins it, could get 1-0 either way. Crawley versus Stevenage next, and Crawley have been doing well. Crawley now in 19th against Stevenage in 14th. Stevenage dropping down, not quite doing as well. They lost to Mansfield in the FA Cup 1-0, and Mansfield have been playing some great football, but not scoring. They won against Northampton, and you would expect them to be able to have won by a little bit more, because they're not playing good football, managerless. Would you? 2-0. Okay, it was a decent scoreline, but they have played really good football. Stevenage, they just don't seem to be playing the class of football that we have seen at the beginning of the season. Crawley 19th, Stevenage 14th. It's going to be quite a close one, this one. People not expecting this one to be very much goals in it. And if you look at the Crawley goals, regardless of who wins, it's 2-2, 2-1, 0-0, 1-0, 3-4, 1-2. And then you look at the Stevenage goals, again, regardless of whether it's a win, draw, or lose, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 0-0, 1-0, 2-0. There's not an awful lot of goals in. Only that Lincoln game for Crawley that was a 3-4 defeat had a lot of goals in it. And I can't help but think that I'm going to go with the majority of you. Crawley 1-0, Crawley 1-0, Stevenage and Crawley 1-1, and another 1-1. I'm going to go with Crawley 1, Stevenage 0, and we'll go into the next game. Mansfield versus Huddersfield. Mansfield in 10th versus Huddersfield in 4th, and Mansfield have been playing some pretty football. Very pretty, but not effective. And it really has been. We've been doing the watch-alongs, which unfortunately I got a strike, so I can't be doing it this weekend. But we were doing it, watching a lot of Mansfield's games, and how they haven't had a shot when they've been walking the ball across the centre, right in front of the goal line. God only knows. Win, lose, 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 win, lose. Last time out, 3-1 to Bolton. They just didn't fire at all to me. Against Huddersfield, who have started to show what they can do. Lose against Tamworth, draw against Crawley, but they've been getting really good, haven't they? And then Mickey Mouse Trophy against Man United, 4-1 win. And then the last 3 wins, 2-1 to Charlton, 2-0 away to Leyton Orient, and 1-0 at home to Wigan. I think this is going to be an interesting game. Now, what are you saying? 4-1 to Huddersfield. Wow, 2-0 to Huddersfield, 2-2 and 1-0 to Huddersfield. I'm going to go with one of you. I'm going to go with Mansfield 0, Huddersfield 2. I'm sorry to our the guy that always comes online from Mansfield. They just need to shoot more when they get into that box, and they get in there quite often. Stockport versus Exeter next, and we have Stockport County really did well at the beginning. They're fifths. They did well. They dropped off a little bit, and then they recently come back. They lost the last game away to Birmingham, but Birmingham started to get back into that phrase of winning every single game now, haven't they? Win, lose, win, 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 lose. Pretty good. They've got back into this, moving gradually back into the top 6 and back up to that third, probably about 3rd or 4th. I think they'll get up to before they hit the ceiling and just not quite grabbing in on those top 3 or 4 against an Exeter side who have played some really good football. The Charlton win 1-0 was really good football. I enjoyed that. Good game on the whole. Birmingham 2-0 defeat at home. Actually, they didn't play too badly. Wickham 2-2 last time out. Anybody who can keep Wickham from winning in the way they're playing has to have been playing very good defensive football, and they were playing very good defensive football. So very good attacking side against a very good defending side. This is going to be hard. However, what are you saying? 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 2-0. Yeah, I think you're not far off. I think we're going to go Stockport 2, Exeter 1. But Exeter could just sneak this as a 2-2, We have Wickham versus Reading, and as much as we think Wickham, did last time out have a little bit of a stutter, Exeter 2-2. I thought they might actually lose it, at one point. Win, draw against Exeter. Wow, last time they lost 2 points, God knows when it was. Reading, draw, win, draw, win. The two sides who are actually doing really well. Wickham in first, Reading in 6th. They've snuck up, haven't they? And they started to really do quite well. And they are able to score 5-3, okay, against Harbour in the FA Cup. But it's amazing how good opposition are when they're in the FA Cup from tables below you. And they weren't particular. They were like a bit of a walker, but they scored 3, Harborough. So it does show that they can let goals in, as well as score. So Wycombe Reading, I think it's gonna be Wycombe, but it's gonna be a close knit thing, and a lot closer than what you lot are thinking. 3-1, 2-1, 2-0, 2-0. I'm actually going to go specially. I'm going to go Wycombe 3, Reading 2. I think it'll be really, really close, that one. And then finally we go for Northampton Peterborough. What has happened to Peterborough? I haven't a clue what's happened to Peterborough. In fact, I can't even find them on the. Here we are. They're on Monday. So we'll get to Monday. Northampton draw, lose, lose. Wigan defeat 2-1 away. Stevenage defeat 2-0 away. They'll be happy to be. It's their third. It's going to be their third game in 6 out of 7 that's at home. So they have been away quite a lot. But managerless, are they going to be any good here? And that's the other thing about the Reading game. Is still going to be there. I do believe he's still going to be there. They're not going to announce that they've nicked Reading's manager yet, are they? I don't think so. So we're assuming that Reading will have a manager. So Peterborough win, lose, win, lose. They lost against Burton, but Burton have been gradually getting better, haven't they? But then Peterborough won against Notts County 4-3, and that was a bit of a. I thought they could quite lose that one. They did lose the Reading game 2-1, and before that they won 6-1 at home to Cambridge, and then before that 4-1 at home in the Mickey Mouse Trophy to Crystal Palace under 21s. And before that, the FA Cup, they won 4-2. So actually they got 14 goals there, guys, in 3 games. And it seems to have got forgotten because 2 of them were cup games. But the Cambridge one wasn't. 6-1. They can score. That's what I mean. They can score. But they've just lost their mojo at the minute, and they haven't been playing. For me, they haven't been playing the football we know they can do. They have been letting goals in. However, what are you saying? Northampton 1-0. Somebody's thinking Northampton could nick this, and Peterborough may not be able to go back to winning ways with all the goals that they got 6-5 and 4 games ago. 1-3, 1-2. I'm going to go with one of those. I'm going to go for Northampton 1, Peterborough 2. That's my forecast for Saturday and Monday. So that's my predictions. Please do like and subscribe. Like I said, I got a strike, so I won't be around on Saturday doing any lives. I don't think I'll be doing any lives till about Wednesday, when the week ban is over. I will see you for the next real live on a week of Saturday. Possibly may do a couple of one live in midweek for anything that needs covering. And please do like and subscribe. Please do like and subscribe. Keep me going. Sometimes when things get tough, we just have to dig in there, and I'll get you as many videos out as I can, and any news items I'll try and put those in as well. So Jon S Sports Channel, over and out.